Seth begins with a simple truth. Your beliefs generate emotion. Now, that might seem backwards to us. We often think of our emotions as coming first, that they rise uninvited, that we're tossed about by their waves. But Seth suggests something subtler, that beneath each emotion is a thought, and beneath each thought, a belief. You see, emotion is like the color of light passing through the glass of belief. Change the glass, and the color changes too. When you hold a belief that the world is dangerous, your body responds in fear. Tight chest, shallow breath, a readiness to fight, a readiness to flee. When you hold a belief that the world is abundant, your breath loosens, your heartbeat steadies, and your body tunes itself to ease. We have been taught that feelings are more real than thought, that emotion is the raw core of being. But Seth reminds us that emotion follows thought. You are the thinker, dreaming the feeling, not the other way around. It is fashionable, Seth says, to place feelings above reason, to believe that if it feels right, it must be true. Yet feelings, without awareness, are like weather. Beautiful, unpredictable, and sometimes misleading. Imagine a traveler lost in fog. The fog is emotion. The compass, your conscious reasoning. It is the mind's clarity. You see, without the compass, the fog may seem endless, but with it, you can navigate even through the storm. A long period of depression, Seth says, does not fall upon you like rain from nowhere. It is woven, thread by thread, from small, repetitive beliefs. I am not enough. I can't change. No one cares. And soon these thoughts crystallize into feeling, and that feeling becomes your weather. So, are we to cast aside emotion? No. Emotion is a faithful messenger. It tells you what you believe. When fear appears, it whispers, you are believing in danger. When sadness lingers, it says, you are believing in loss. When joy dances through you, it proclaims, you are believing in harmony. Emotion is the echo of belief within the body. It is meant to follow the flow of reasoning, to serve, not to rule. Your mind perceives the environment, judges, interprets, and from those judgments, the body reacts through chemistry, through posture, through feeling, all tuned to your inner expectation. If your beliefs about existence are fearful, then your emotional body will vibrate with stress. You will find evidence of fear everywhere because your world mirrors your focus. It is not the events that shape your emotion, but the lens through which you interpret them. A job lost. A job loss can be the end of safety or the beginning of freedom. A relationship ending can be a tragedy or the clearing of space for new love. The event is neutral. Your belief writes the script. To heal emotion, you must tend not to the feeling, but to the thought that gives it birth. Now, Seth says something beautiful. Your imagination fires your emotions, and it follows your beliefs faithfully. Again, your imagination fires your emotions, and it follows your beliefs faithfully. Imagination is the brush that paints your inner world. It is not just mere fantasy. It is a creative medium through which belief becomes visible. If you believe you are sick, imagination paints pictures of illness. If you believe you are whole, imagination paints strength and recovery. The universe responds to your inner imagery because imagination is energy in formation. It's the beginning of manifestation. Later, Seth introduces hypnotism, and this is one of his most profound metaphors. He says, you hypnotize yourself constantly. Every time you repeat a thought, I am too old, I can't change, I'm unlucky, You are narrowing your focus, deepening your trance. You are both the hypnotist and the subject, and the words you speak to yourself are the spell. So when you say, I am tired of life, your body hears you. When you say, I am awakening, your spirit answers. Each thought is a seed of command. Each belief is a sustained spell. You are not the victim of hypnosis. No, you are its master. Seth points out that if you believe that you are sick, then for all practical purposes you are. And if you believe you are healthy, you summon health into being. But here's a curious truth. He says there is also healing in reverse. When one unconsciously believes that illness will serve some purpose, perhaps a person believes that being sick is the only way to receive love or rest or freedom from a duty that they secretly dread. So the body, obedient to belief, creates the condition that fulfills the hidden need. It's not a punishment. No, it's the psyche's ingenious way of keeping balance within the framework of its own root assumptions. The lesson then is not guilt, but understanding. Ask yourself, what purpose does this condition serve? What belief made it necessary? The moment you see it clearly, it is then that you can choose again. Seth explains that one belief can rest upon many others, like a city built on layers of forgotten foundations. A belief in illness may grow from deeper beliefs in guilt or unworthiness. A belief in lack may rise from hidden ideas of being undeserving. Each layer whispers to the next until the outer world becomes their echo. But the mind also holds unused treasures, latent beliefs in joy, health, abundance. They wait quietly beneath the noise, ready to awaken when called. So the practice is not to fight the negative, but to turn toward the positive, to let attention become the sculptor of reality. Imagine a vast field of seeds, some of fear, some of love. Whichever seed you water with attention, that's the one that grows. When you focus upon illness, you strengthen it. When you focus upon health, you awaken it. When you dwell on poverty, you feed it. When you turn your gaze towards abundance, you call it forth. This is not denial. This is direction. Your consciousness is the steering wheel. Your attention is the hand upon it. As you redirect your thoughts, the reservoir of potential, as Seth calls it, rises to meet you. Energy begins to flow along new paths. The body, the mind, and the outer world all start to rearrange themselves to match your renewed belief. Here we come to one of Seth's most poetic insights, that consciousness itself evolves as it is used. So you become more conscious by exercising awareness. Your imagination expands with your understanding. Your emotions refine with your clarity. A flower cannot write a poem about itself, but guess what? You can. And in doing so, you become something greater than you were. Human consciousness is self-reflective. It can look inward as well as outward. And this is both its gift and its challenge. For when we forget the inner dimension, we become trapped in externals, believing only in what the eyes can see. But when we remember both, the world without and the world within, we awaken the full instrument of the soul. The conscious mind and the imagination are not enemies. They are partners in creation. Reason gives shape to imagination's visions. Imagination gives color and life to reason's structure. Seth tells us that the greater the mind's knowledge, the farther the reach of imagination. And the richer the imagination, the deeper the emotion that follows. So your growth is circular, a dance of mind and heart, each feeding the other an endless renewal. We have not learned, Seth says, to use our consciousness fully, so it appears divided. Reason against feeling, imagination against logic. But this is an illusion. They are not warring forces, but different notes of the same harmony. When you only listen to outer conditions, you cut yourself off from intuition, from the interior voice that whispers softly, this way, that way. To live wisely is to tune consciousness to both outer and inner worlds, to walk with one foot in the seen and one in the unseen. For a moment, let's bring this down to practice. Close your eyes just for a moment. Feel your breath. Think of something that's been troubling you, a repeating worry, a persistent sadness. Now ask yourself gently, what belief lives behind this feeling? Maybe the belief is, I'm alone. Maybe the belief is, I am not safe. Maybe the belief is, I don't deserve better. Just notice it. You don't have to fight it. Merely seeing it begins to dissolve its power. Now, imagine another belief. It's opposite. I am supported. I am safe. I am worthy. See how the body reacts. Perhaps the breath deepens. Perhaps a small warmth arises in the chest. That warmth is the emotional echo of a new belief being born. This is how you change your life. One belief, one feeling, one moment of awareness at a time. Understand this. Every advertisement, every headline, every conversation that says you can't is a hypnotic suggestion. And every time you repeat, I can, you awaken yourself from the trance. Modern life is one vast field of hypnosis, but awakening does not require rebellion. It only requires attention. Awareness breaks the spell. Conscious choice writes a new one. So, what are you really? A field of living awareness using thoughts as instruments, emotions as melody, and imagination as rhythm. Your beliefs are the score. Change the score, and the song of your life transforms. Every emotion, even the dark ones, are not enemies but notes seeking resolution. Fear becomes courage when seen clearly. Sadness becomes compassion. Anger becomes movement toward freedom. You are the composer, and the world is your echo. Seth says the mature conscious mind accepts data from both worlds, inner and outer. That is the balance of a wise being. To cultivate it, listen to the silence between thoughts. Listen to intuition. It will not shout. It will whisper. It sounds like your own voice, but deeper. A voice of knowing rather than guessing. When you align with that voice, emotion follows like a loyal friend, and imagination blooms like a garden after rain. So, in this dance of life, belief is the root, thought is the stem, emotion is the flower, imagination is the sunlight that makes it grow. Tend to the root, and the bloom takes care of itself. You are not at mercy of your emotions. You are their author. And when you remember that, you begin to write consciously, to live deliberately, to love freely. Take one more deep breath. Feel the quiet strength within you. Let your awareness expand until it touches the edges of the room, the world, the stars beyond. Your consciousness is vast. It is creative. It is alive. you may take your break. This marks the end of Seth Speaks, the nature of personal reality. And this was a little meditation / chit chat about our part 21. What did you think about this particular passage? What did you think about this particular meditation? What did you think about this little chit chat? Please leave it in the comments below. And as always, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. I am Tony Victory, a wolf uncaged. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. And until the next time, peace. If you found something in this video that sparked a thought, shifted your perspective, or just made you feel more grounded, consider showing some love by buying me a coffee. It helps fuel the channel, keeps the uploads coming, and lets me know that the content matters to you. The link's right below in the description or on my channel banner. No pressure, just appreciation if you're moved to support. And as always, thank you for watching, thank you for listening. I am Tony Victory, a wolf uncaged. Thank you. Peace.